Testing. Make sure the microphone works. Alright, I posted a forum post that had a whole bunch of my videos on it that I did for landing in VTOL using numerous different ships at different landing sites. And of course I had a couple, let's call them people, reply. One going, but you didn't do any cutlasses, so this is whatever. Even accused me of not being able to do it in a cutlass, and on and on and on. So, just for that person, watch this video and then come back and let's see what you have to say. Basically, same video. I'm going to take this cutlass out of Levski, I'm going to fly it around, and then I'm going to land it again without any problems at all. I'll explain the steps I use again, in case you haven't seen the other videos for the other ships. You know, it'd be nice sometimes if some of these people who open their mouths would actually try things, read things, view things, and listen once in a while instead of trolling. Because it's getting pretty tiring, to be honest with you. And since this is a YouTube video, I can pretty much say what I want. So if you don't like it, switch channels.
Hangars open and the flight paths clear. Go ahead.
Alright. Limiter is 0. Throttle 0. Stick is not touched. To do this, you have to understand two things. Do not touch your stick. Whether it's a mouse or a joystick, I use HOTAS. Do not touch your throttle. The only two things you're going to use are strafe and your limiter. I'm going to increase my limiter just a bit, as you can see in the HUD, and then I'm going to use strafe, and I'm going to go straight up. Now the Cutlass has some bugs, as you saw. It took me forward. So I'm going to get rid of the limiter, and I'm going to pick it up again. See how I've got one, I should have dropped it quicker back there, but as soon as you come up off the ground, it starts moving. That is a bug. That is not VTOL. That's a bug in the Cutlass. There's not much you can do about that bug. So what I'm going to do, hopefully I still have enough room to do it, is I'm going to turn this thing. Notice I've stopped moving. Don't ask me why, I don't know why. So now I'm going to raise up out of the hangar without a problem. So a bug in the Cutlass causes your ship to move forward like that. So what you have to do is when you raise up, that's why you got to make sure your limiter is so low as well. You turn it around and you'll stop moving. And then you can raise up out of the hangar. That's something you do not have to do with other ships. And it's again because of a bug in the Cutlass itself. Next, one of the other bugs in the Cutlass itself is the fact that it's sometimes stuck in VTOL. You can't get out of it. So basically what you have to do is just strafe, open your limiter all the way up and strafe up straight. Just go straight up. As fast as you can go. You can pull the afterburner, and eventually you'll break through and you can increase speed. Once you get to usually about 150 or higher, you can it'll break out of VTOL. Alright, so we broke out of it. We're going to turn around, we're going to come back down. First thing I want to do is get stopped. Alright, so So I now stop. Notice I've still got that forward velocity. Even if I pull it up, I've still got some forward velocity in the Cutlass. Again, it's a bug. It has nothing to do with anything except a bug with the Cutlass. So you have to be careful. More so with the Cutlass than you do the other ships, but it's the same identical procedure. Get down towards where you want to go, down towards the landing area. Come to a stop. Once you come to a stop, you'll notice that with the Cutlass, it's not entering VTOL automatically, which is another bug with the Cutlass. So some of this you're going to have to be really careful on, because if it all of a sudden kicks in, it can screw everything up. But again, it's all about being slow and methodical and taking the right steps to make sure that if it does, you've got control still. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to see where I'm located. And somebody else also commented about using third person is not the solution, blah, blah, blah. Give it a rest. SIG has not put in our landing nav aids and all that kind of stuff in the game. Use some common sense and figure that out. The only way right now you can see where you're at is using third person. Alright, I'm going to lower my gear, and then I'm going to reduce my altitude so that I'm closer down towards the pads. That way I don't have to go as far. Once I've gotten down, and at this point, by the way, once I got stopped close to the pads and I'm where I'm at, I am not using throttle and I'm not using my control stick at all. All I am using is my limiter and my strafe. If I touch the throttle or the stick, this is going to just go completely haywire. And that's the problem people are having. They're still trying to fly this like a plane, like a ship, with their stick and their throttle and everything else. You can't do that. The system right now, as it's designed, needs to be changed. But for now, if you want to land, you need to do it this way. Now I'm going to request landing. Now here's the tough part, because I gotta figure out which pad I'm in. Actually, hopefully I can see it. I'm in the first one, alright. That'll be a little simpler. So what I'm gonna do now is turn toward that. And I'm gonna strafe forward just a tad until I get over that pad. Again, using strafe only. You don't touch your throttle, you don't touch your stick, none of that. And it looks like I need to go forward still some more. And I need to strafe to the left. Down. I'll go back into the cockpit. As you can see, my throttle is 0, but my limiter I have up so that I can control my thrust. Not my throttle, my thrust. And using strafe only. And that's where you got to be careful. Like I said, because of the bug, I had to bring it down a little bit quicker, because that bug kicked in on me. But, you know, if you've got control and you're using strafe, as you saw, I can do that pretty simply, pretty easily. And here's what happens when you touch the stick or the throttle. This is exactly what happens. That's the problem people are having, and this is what happens when you use your stick and your throttle. Now if I lift off the floor, it's really going to go hog wild. If that happens and you're able to get control, set your throttle and your limiter to 0 and let go of the stick. Don't touch it. And you can use your strafe again. Just don't touch your stick and don't touch your throttle. And maneuver your ship however you need to, whatever you need to do. And I probably should put down my gear. Wait, I thought I put my gear down. Okay, now my gear's down. Forgot to do that. Now I'll land. And that's it.
And done. Welcome to Whiskey.
And of course that bug as well. So that's it for this Cutlass one. If somebody wants to see it done on another ship, then give me a comment and I will do it. But for you trolls, if you don't like what you're seeing, then move to a different thread, go do something else, keep crashing your ship, I don't care. But for the people that want the help, keep your comments to yourself. You know, the trolls I'm talking about, keep your comments to yourself. We don't need them, and it's getting tiring.